Wrestling fans, now you too can look as cool as Monty and the Pharaoh by wearing the official Monty and the Pharaoh sunglasses at night for $8.99 each. That's only $8.99 each. Now available at montyandthepharaoh.com.
Matt Hardy's going to be there. I don't know who else is going to be there.
I think Bully Ray's going to be there, right?
Yep.
Real quick, opinions on Bully Ray. Is he really a good guy, or is he really the persona that he puts out there?
I think he's got a good balance of both in him. I think he's a good guy. Now, I can see a lot more of my peers as good people now because I don't have that competitive spirit in me. But when I was in the dressing room with all these guys, I was in a different frame of mind where I was like, hey, fuck that guy. And Sabu got me like that too. We'd stay together, we'd have our own clique. We'd say so-and-so thinks they're good, but they're not, and this and that. I'm so glad to be out of that frame of mind because that it wasn't peaceful, right? But you don't want to be peaceful if you're fighting. Right. Those are contradicting elements. Sure. So now I look at it, people that I didn't get along, and even Bubba. Like a lot of times, when Sabu and I would wrestle the Dudleys, a lot of times we'd be hating on Bubba. Devon was the cooler Dudley, of course. Bubba would be the dick on purpose to the fans and everybody, but that's got to come out from somewhere in him. Like he's really comfortable being the bossy guy and yelling at people, but he's also a really good guy, which I've come to notice and now can focus on a lot more than I could when we were punching each other in the face.
Gotcha.
We used to literally get in a shoot punch fight every night in the ring.
I heard that. I heard that was like shoot.
Yeah.
I kind of wish you would have knocked his head off.
One of us would catch the other one, and then it'd be like receipt, harder, and we would just go bam, and either one of them, I'm not going to sell it, hit me hard as you can, because we have something to prove.
Wow.
Bam, oh yeah, bam, every night.
All right, this has been an incredible interview. We want to thank you both for joining us. Again, we wish you the best of luck in your future endeavors, and we're looking forward to seeing you travel the Northeast. Jimmy, you got any last words for the fans out there?
I just hope that they enjoyed our time with RVD, and I want to say thank you very much, Rob. You are in my top 5 all time.
Awesome.
Favorite wrestler, and as far as I'm concerned, we just got done interviewing. This is me, though, so you can make fun of me for weeks now after this. We just got done interviewing the greatest in-ring performer, wrestler, that I have ever watched.
Oh, so I do apologize.
What?
I cannot stand Bubba Ray. I just can't.
You can't stand what?
Bubba Ray.
Okay.
He seems very arrogant and seems like he thinks he knows everything. Am I off base here? Or?
Yes.
Okay.
He does know a lot, and he is arrogant, but he's a pretty smart guy, and he's a hard worker, and he's very intelligent.
Was he one of the guys that tried to hold people down to make sure?
No,
okay.
It was just the opposite. He was being held down. And then, they brought him in doing a stupid gimmick at first, like a stuttering idiot type of thing, and changed.
That was funny.
then he changed it into something serious.
Right.
Him and Devon.
Yeah.
And he was being held back by a few other guys.
Okay. I might have to reevaluate my thoughts on Bubba Ray.
Look, I love the Dudley Boys. Right. I love the Dudley Boy. I love Sabu. I love Sandman.
Well,
I love the whole damn
Sabu
company.
just turned me to maybe have to reevaluate.
Bubba deserves more credit than you give him.
Definitely one of the greats.
Oh,
no, without a doubt.
Fantastic.
It's just that example. He's on another show, right? And he always talks about everybody else's writing and how it should be and blah blah. And I think to myself, didn't you have the book in TNA and it failed miserably? So really, how can you give advice to anybody else, right? If you failed and fell on your ass, you know what I'm saying?
But that could just be that TNA black hole thing,
Yeah,
you go
exactly.
into, you know what I'm saying?
There.
Yeah.
I think Eric Bischoff and Russo and Bruce Prichard were hired by Vince to make it purposely bad. That's what I think. I think they were getting checks from both sides, and the check from Vince was to make TNA purposely bad because they wouldn't use me and they wouldn't listen to nothing I had to say. Right. Not just me. They didn't use a lot of good things at their disposal. A lot of good guys at their disposal.
Well, so let me ask you this: like Bubba Ray's over there, and you have so many friends over there. Don't you ever reach out and say, "Yo, what's up? Help, hook up"?
Well, I'm ashamed to say I said that to him once. I said, "Hey, Bubba, what's going on in these booking meetings? Why ain't I getting a good deal on his?" And he goes, "You're not nobody's favorite. Nobody's bringing you up in the booking meetings. I go, what about you? He goes, well, yeah, but I got my own stuff to bring up. And this is when you said he was booking, right?
Yeah, right,
He didn't tell me that. But he said that nobody was bringing my name up in the booking meetings, so I was being overlooked, which is ridiculous. You know, if they're flying me in, why overlook me? Other than Eric Bischoff and those guys
but
purposely trying to make the show bad.
But you just said, what about you? Right?
Okay, he didn't really have an answer for that.
Oh, now you turned me the other way. Now I'm mad
Now
again.
he's back to being.
Now I'm back.
Now he's back to get the tables and put him through it. This is unbelievable.
And that's one thing, you know, I like Bubba and I love Devon. I love them both a lot. But like when we're on an independent show together, Bubba would go to the promoter and tell them they can be the only ones that break a table, and that I couldn't even break a table.
Wow.
And that's kind of pissed me off. But I said, well, that's not all I have. I have other stuff besides the table, anyways.
Yeah, but that's part of your. That's part of your.
That's what I thought. You know, I figured I'd have first choice at the table.
Would think so.
When they would get to the promoter first, they would say they had first choice at the table.
spot.
Is it just
That's terrible.
Look, we always say wrestling is a microcosm of the real world. Just
Kind of
you're all
is,
in your little
yeah.
bubble, a different type of bubble.
Yeah.
But what seems to bother me a lot is we meet so many legends like yourself. In some cases, some guys are rich and they did really well for themselves, and some guys, just, did their job and now they're not struggling, but life just like me and
I know
him.
what you mean.
And I always wonder, this is this tight family. It's very easy to just say, hey, bring this guy in for a couple of shots. Let's make him some money.
When I was in ECW rolling good, I brought in all my friends. I gave them a fair shot. I didn't give them a job, but I gave them a tryout.
You gave him an opportunity.
I gave them a fair shot. If they were good, if Paulie liked them, and a few of them, like one of them was Rhino.
Rhino, nice.
One was Rob, RVD. These are all guys I brung in myself who I begged Paul to give them a fair shot before he beat the shit out of them. And most of the time, when he brung somebody new in, he had them put somebody over before he'd consider using them, which I thought was wrong. He's trying to put them in their place before they were out of place.
Right.
And I thought that was wrong. So I would let him do that with RVD or with Rhino.
So this brings me back then, right? So if it wasn't for you, a Rob Van Dam, Dudley Boys, Tommy Dreamer, Paul now is, I don't know how much money Paul's got. He's probably a multi-millionaire at this
He
point.
can't even count it.
Yeah.
At what point should this guy be saying, hey, man, you know what? I'm bringing you in to be a manager. I'm bringing you in to do something. Why does this not happen?
I don't know. I don't know. I can't ask him because I just can't. But I don't know. I wondered that too. I wonder why he didn't say, "Hey, I got something for you, a position here for you," because he's on top of the world, and I help him get there. I don't care what he thinks or not. When he took over ECW, nobody gave him a shot of succeeding.
May I just correct you on one thing? You didn't help him get there. You got him there.
Okay, well, you can say that.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh,
I think that's what everybody feels.
You and the guys you mentioned, absolutely. You all got him. Does he ever call you? Does he ever check in with you?
He has been lately. He called me a few months ago. Then he called me when Melissa died.
Okay.
But
okay.
It's a little late on reaching out. He should have reached out sooner. But it wasn't. I don't know how to explain it. But he has called me in the past few months and not too long ago. And it's hard for me to talk about this. But when I was gonna go to WCW, I had a secret meeting with Kevin Sullivan, J.J. Dillon. And they go up to room, whatever. So I went up to the wrong room, and there was a bunch of the WCW booking team was there. And I walked in the room and turned around and walked back out. And one of those guys went and called Paul Lee and said I was there negotiating the contract. So when Kevin Sullivan and J.J. Dillon gave me this contract, it was for a lot of money, more money than I can imagine. And I was shitting myself. So I go, I got to take this back to my hotel room and read it. And Kevin goes, read it, just sign it. But really what I wanted to do was tell my mother first and then sign it and give it back to him. But when I called my mother, at the same time someone came to the door, at my house door at home, and the dog started going crazy. So it made my mom panic, and she had a heart attack. Not because I told her about the contract before I could tell her. So I went home straight away from Georgia, went right back to Lansing, Michigan. Within 6 hours, I was in the ICU with her. And I called Kevin Sullivan and said, Kevin, I'm at the hospital with my mother, but I have the contract here ready. I signed it and I'm ready to fax it over to you. He goes, too late. We're already being sued. And it wasn't even being sued. It was the threat of being sued made them drop it. And it was for more money than I would have been set right now. I've been still rich by now. And it was the last year, a year later, they went out of business and died. And Kevin and JJ thought I could save their company. And so did I. I thought I could come in and save it also. But I didn't get the chance to. And so I kind of hated Paul for that. But my mother made me forgive him because she had 12... Me going home to her gave her 12 years more of life. Otherwise she would have died, she said. Okay. So she made me forgive him. So I do forgive him. but not completely because, he's getting fat and I'm not.
Right. Understood.
And it's hard for me to talk about it because I feel sorry for myself, but I shouldn't feel sorry for myself. But, I feel I didn't get a square deal and it was from somebody who already had their deal.
Right.
Paulie is set for life before any of this. And so, but I wasn't, and I was wrestling for the love of the business, not for the money. But when I needed the money, it was taken away from me.
Took it from you.
I wrestled. I didn't even think about money when I wrestled. I just thought, wow, I'm getting paid to be treated like Elvis. I come to town, everybody shits their pants and comes and sees me and has me sign stuff, takes pictures, and that feels great. So to me, that was payment, not the dollars. But when it came down to where I needed the dollars, I didn't have it. It wasn't there. It was taken from me.
Wow.